Probably just
Yeah.
no. For me, I should like eat this up right now. That way we can get the show going.
Okay. All right, Nick, get ready. Get ready. You're about to be live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the monthly Friday Fitness podcast, hosted by yours truly, Sick Nick, aka Coach Nick, if you want to call me that. Honestly, I'm not really into that title. And joined by my friend here, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu enthusiast, Uncle Phil. Take it away, Philly.
Hey everyone! Thanks for tuning into the monthly special of the Fit Friday podcast right here on Panoramic Gaming. So yes. So as you may have heard, this past Wednesday, this past Wednesday on the Off Tangent podcast, for important reasons. Well, not so much important reasons, but for much more group decision based reasons. It has been decided that this Fit Friday podcast will no longer be on a weekly basis. It is now going to be on a once a month, first Fridays of the month, which I think we're gonna go with.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going with first Fridays of the month. However, we are still continuing the all-in transformation challenge. So with that being said, welcome to the show, everyone. Make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and let's go ahead and let's have a convo with Coach Nick.
Okay. All right. So first question, and by the way, if you want to drop in a question, please feel free. I am more than open for that. But anyway, so here's the question: when you first started, what did your training regimen look like? How have you evolved this over time?
Okay. Hang on, Nick. I'm gonna put you on pause for a second, really quickly here. Sorry, folks. We have an incoming.
Yo, you guys start yet? Just invite me whenever. Hello?
Yo, I thought you're not gonna be free till 8.
Yeah, did you guys start yet?
We're just about starting just now. What's up?
Yeah, I finished my my chores and shit and errands pretty early, so I'll be free.
All right, hold on. Okay, we're gonna through. Okay, I'll let Nick know. All right.
Just invite me.
Okay, all right. I'll invite you. Okay. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay, Nick. Sorry, folks.
Okay, that was like the shortest errand ever.
Yeah,
That early.
I apologize. I thought we were gonna. Yep, I thought.
Well, no one even texted me back, so how do I know anything?
Oh well.
Okay.
So okay. So my fault. Didn't know. So my bad.
All I needed was just a text, so I know if you guys, would go with my plan or not.
I mean, you did say
Yeah, I asked.
No,
It's up to you
never mind.
guys if you want to start without me. I didn't get a confirmation, so I finished
Okay.
my errands early just in case, because you guys didn't text back.
Oh.
Okay. My phone was dead, so I needed to,
Okay, Phil, what's your
Charge it.
excuse?
I have no excuse. So I
All right, let's go.
I had no excuse. So I just.
What else is new?
So, anyways,
Let's go.
starting with Nick's question here.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. Sure, it gets.
All right.
I
So
will fix this.
when you first started training or exercising or working out, whatever you want to call it, what did your training regimen look like, and how have you evolved this over time?
Okay. Well, when I first started, I didn't have a plan.
Okay.
Like, you ever hear or told like, you ever hear that, like a chicken running without no head?
Yep.
That's basically how I kind of that's basically how I just went into like sort of like building it into a workout routine. Like I did I don't know what I was doing at all. Like that's how things started to happen. I went with it, and or I didn't look up. I didn't think of it. I didn't like go on Pinterest. Or I didn't go on Instagram. I didn't go on Google to find out certain workouts. What am I supposed to do, or what am I trying to target? So I kind of just went like with. So I kind of went to like basic fundamentals, basic fundamentals on what I remembered. So all I did were like basic jumping jacks, push-ups, burpees, sit-ups, all things that were fundamental at that point.
Okay. All right.
So to me, at least, in my mind, I feel like it was just like something needed a start, you know?
Sure. Okay. So I guess so I guess this question goes to you, Air. When you first started, what did your training look like, and how has it improved over time?
When I first, pretty much same as Phil. I didn't really have a plan going in. I just wanted to improve my body the way I wanted to. So I just watched like, how to get abs or how to get chest, big chest, blah blah.
Okay.
I just kind of went by body type or body part. I didn't really have a plan.
So in a way, you just kind of shot at the dark and see where the bullet landed.
Kinda, yeah. Just testing the water. Again, I was very new to the fitness game anyway, so I just kind of did what I felt I needed to do.
I mean, I'll admit, I was at that point after being detrained for years, and when I looked at One Punch Man's training, I was like, hey, this actually looks like a pretty solid plan. So I went with that, and then I watched. I found this YouTube channel called Calisthenic Movement, and then it said how to train like One Punch Man, and I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta see this. This looks pretty interesting. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, so the sit-up sucks. Okay, so what can I do to fill that in then? Oh, body rows? Wait, what is the body rows? Oh, wait, I did that before back in weightlifting. Yeah, sure, that actually looks like a pretty good idea. And ever since, that's kind of how it's been. And eventually over time, I, like the sets and reps were pretty low at first because I wanted to focus on form. and then over time, as my body became more and more used to push-ups, inverted rows, and squats, that's when I stacked up on rep counts, sets, and eventually got to German volume training and have become a fan of that since. So for you guys, how did you? Well, since you guys only addressed like the first part of the question, which is fine, I guess the follow-up question is, how has this improved? How have you improved your training over time? Like, what did you do to make your routines a lot better than they were before?
Let's see, like, I think for a month, going off that first question, for about a month, again, I still don't know what I was doing, and I think like, if I remember correctly, it was just right around 2 weeks where I started to wonder, like, okay, there's probably something I'm not doing right. So that's when I decided to start using internet, start using social media. What am I doing wrong? And or hell, go on YouTube and see what I was doing. And unlike you, Nick, I never had I never followed like a one punch man like exercise plan or idea. It was I never.
I mean, I'm not saying you had to, but,
Well. This is my explanation. It's I never. I mean, sure. I looked and I kind of discovered like other workout plans, ergo, but it was really never that. I don't know, like I didn't like dug deeper into it, so that was a thing for me.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when later I decided to kind of just like change the scenery what I was doing, because later on that's where I know, okay, let's start start lifting weights, see if that's gonna go somewhere. And don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. It went some. Don't get me wrong. It did go somewhere for a little bit. And I appreciate weightlifting. But I knew for a fact that I was never gonna get to the level of where a lot of people were, and that was my problem. That was my problem too. Where like when I was in the gym, like I'd always have the. I'd always be intimidated, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, it may sound cheesy, cliche. Go with what you want. It honestly doesn't matter at all. But that's
and that's really what it matters. Like if you train, if you try to emulate someone's training, and deep down inside you were never really into it to begin with, then that's where it eventually starts biting you harder and harder. The more you try to sustain something that you don't really care about in the first place.
Right. So. But yeah.
So I guess this question goes to, the ace over here. How has your training improved over time? Because there's no such thing as a good start, if you ask me. Even I'll admit, I don't think I had a good start when I started training.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. So same thing with the body. Definitely for my journey as well. It took me a lot of bumps, a lot of different trials and errors. But I think now I kind of have a pretty good regimen going. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, but for my body and for what I do, it's up there. It's pretty good. Like I'm doing more isolated workouts, like chest on this day, high intensity on this day, and then I kind of incorporate upper body mixes as well.
Okay. One thing before we close this question and get to the next one, there is one thing I do want to recommend for everybody out there who is on their fitness journey. What I would recommend is to um, log your workouts. That way you can keep yourself accounted for and keep in track. Like, let's say I gotta do 100 push-ups for the first workout, and then I divided everything into 10 reps, 10 sets. Once I knock out that first set, X out the first set. The next 10 reps, X that out again, and that way you can check to see how much sets did you do, and you're not gonna do any less or more than what you did.
Nick,
or
I'm
than
gonna,
what
I'm
you're
gonna,
supposed to do.
I'm gonna be like legit honest with you. Hold on a second. Give 1 minute. Sorry. All right. As I was trying to say. Okay. So about journaling, I'm gonna have to honestly disagree because that. And here, I'm gonna disagree with the journaling here, and here's why. It's because one, yes, don't get me wrong, I've tried it before. I tried journaling in,
Actually, what are you doing?
I tried journaling my workout or said workouts or routines or trying to remember those things, but the problem with me was I was never consistent. So, and overall, like, I don't know. I didn't. I'm not really good at trying to like journal or track or like write down my shit. And it also became a problem like later on when I was trying to restructure my diet regimen too. Like I don't have that consistency. I tried, but I tried like shit ton of times, but on my own accord, I feel the consistency, and I think this time around, me trying to journal or write down things that I did doesn't work for me. So right now I'm just gonna I will go at my pace. Me, like journaling wise, is not something I usually do. So there.
I mean, that's you, but for me personally, because I can't exactly like keep count of like, oh, how long have I been training? How many sets did I do? Like, like I have this weird tunnel vision, especially when I'm training. Like I'm more focused on what I can do now instead of what I did or what I should do next. Hence why the journal for me and so many other people in the world that are working out right now helps quite a bit because, especially if I somehow do a phantom set meaning, oh, I'll do like I do another one and then it's not until later I realize, wait, I think I did one more set that I didn't have to do. I was like, whatever. But yeah, basically, I guess the entire word that I'm trying to put together here is accountability, and self-accountability matters quite a bit for me and many others out there. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying operating on instinct is wrong, but to me, in my opinion and in personal experience, instinct isn't always trustworthy, if that makes sense. Like, it helps in one place, but in another place, maybe not.
Well, going to both of you guys' points, especially doing something as serious, or I guess in your case, as serious and passionate as, fitness, I think structure is good to have,
Yeah.
So that's why journals and stuff like that might be needed to help with the regimen and with your scheduling, so you don't forget, and it kind of reminds you where you are in your journey.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And it's a really nice it's a really nice way to look back to it, because when I look at this part right here, where it's basically an entire week calendar of it's like an entire calendar for me of how long I've been onto this thing. Now each week is basically from Monday to Saturday, with the exception of June, which is only Monday to Friday. But ever since Monday through Saturday, like every time I get one training session in, whether it be calisthenics, cardio, or free training day, I always check mark it just to tell me, hey, I've been consistent all week, I gotta keep this up. And looking back, I haven't missed a single damn day somehow.
And obviously, journaling isn't for everybody, but it does give a little bit of structure and idea of what you're going through in your journey.
Yeah, like from what I found out. Sorry.
If you don't do journaling and you're successful in what you're doing, that more power to you. But I agree with both. I see both sides here.
Yeah, and from what I found out, for from this YouTube channel called PictureFit. Shout out to PictureFit, by the way. Love the drawings. He actually said for newbies out there, they should not create their own workout plan until they have their very own, or until they have the experience to see how a workout plan is structured. And for me, I have the experience, and I also have the right idea and the openness, of course, the openness to say, hey, there might be something that I need to fix on my training plan. Let's see what I can fix. So, yeah. Again, there's no such thing as a perfect training plan, but I do think there are training plans that are, better than others. Though that's not necessarily to say, oh, this training plan sucks, this training plan is better. It really depends on what you're trying to work on,
Well, it's not about whether which training plan is better or not. It depends on what is good for you individually, So your training plan, obviously, is not going to work for Phil, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Phil's is not going to work for you. So whatever works for you in the long run, that's all you got to, decide on or focus on.
That's true. But keep in mind, there are also some workout plans that are so poorly structured. Like, I'm just gonna mention this one real quick. There's this YouTube channel called Teaching Men's Fashion, and he did a workout plan where it consists of mountain climbers, push-ups, and tricep push-ups or Sphinx push-ups. And for whatever reason, his rest time is planking for 15 seconds, and I'm like, dude, you're still working out. That's not a freaking rest. What the hell? Like, it's like, that's like one of the poorest workout plans I've ever seen, because, rest is just as valuable as training. And if you're not allowing yourself the proper rest time, then you're going to perform very, very poorly in your workouts.
Yeah, I noticed that too during this week. Even though I got quote unquote lazy for like 2 or 3 days. Again, that's rest too, in between those workouts. So even if you do feel lazy, it's okay because you're still resting your body, and that's needed. Yeah,
that's true. And for my case, I was in a very similar case, especially for this week. This week was like, overall.
Yeah.
Even though I've been consistent with my training, like, on some days I don't feel like training on this particular time, so I'll just wait later on in the day where I feel a little bit more up to it. But at the same time, this kind of went on for too long, and I'm like, okay, I gotta stop sleeping in so much. I gotta be able to wake up at this appropriate time. That way I can get my breakfast in and then my training in like 2 or 3 hours after that. So yeah, right now I'm at like I guess I'm not at a low point, but I'm like at a big bump in the road that I'm currently experiencing with my journey right now.
Yeah,
big bump.
You did mention that your sleeping schedule is shit this week. Could you elaborate more on that? Like, what happened or what's going on? Because I've had trouble too in my sleep schedule.
I'm not really sure how to explain it, but maybe it's because I've been napping a little bit too often. I mean, again, I will reiterate that rest is valuable, but if you do too many rests and not enough training, then that could impact your consistency, and
Games.
even though, yeah, and your gains too in some ways. But as much as I do value rest, I have to value training also. So basically, what I need to do is stop taking naps throughout the day. Like, I can relax, but I shouldn't nap at all. And save save the sleep for nighttime, because nighttime is when we're all supposed to be asleep. So yeah.
So like you've been waking up randomly or something? Is that what's going on?
Something like that, yeah.
In
Like,
between your sleep, your usual.
yeah, I've been experiencing that quite regularly for quite some time now, and I don't know if I have a disorder for sleep or anything like that, but either way, it has to stop. Like, I'm telling myself that. Like, this sleeping
Unless you're insomniac. No.
could be. I'm not completely sure, honestly, and I'm not sure if I want to go to the doctor to find out. But before I do, I'd like to, tackle this myself first. And if it doesn't work, then I'll go see a doctor and say, "Hey, doc, can you help me out to figure out if I have insomnia or whatnot?" Because I've been sleeping very irregularly, and it's starting to affect my training sessions.
So,
But have you tried changing your sleep schedule to try healing it?
I
Like
have.
let's say you try to sleep earlier,
I've
as opposed-
tried it here and there, but I guess the only thing I'm missing right now is an alarm clock, which I just set one
Your
up.
phone, dude.
Huh?
your phone.
Yeah. That's what I just set one up on my phone, like while I was at work. So right now, as it's charging,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll help.
yeah,
Set it really loud too, like super loud.
yeah.
Because you can edit in
definitely.
your settings. Sometimes it doesn't wake me up because mine was too quiet at one point, and it was just on vibrate. So
oh.
Okay.
pick like the most annoying ringtone to wake you up. That helps.
Yeah, got it.
Oh boy.
Okay, so on to the next question, since this has been addressed already. Now this one, I guess to make it more fun, we could do a little top 5 on this one. Top 5, what do you value the most in training?
I think well. There's not so much to go into that because there's only two things that to me that kind of just matters the most.
Okay.
A, diet. Diet nutrition. And
Well, sorry. To me, that's different. Like, diet nutrition definitely plays a part in all this, but just the training aspect itself, like, there are some variables to consider depending on your level.
well,
That's
well, in my perception, I value diet nutrition like on a very high tier, like on a very high tier. When it comes to like when it does come to like trying to change myself physically, I value that diet. I value my diet nutrition. Sure, it may be bottom of the barrel like shit right now, but if I stop talking and discipline myself to get back to where I was, and actually do it, and actually not be hesitant, because let's be honest, hesitant has been my greatest enemy since forever. So yeah, I don't need to go more in detail to that, but more importantly, like if there's one thing I do value mostly in training or in fitness, yes, diet nutrition. Because without diet nutrition, it will for me in my perception, like it's gonna benefit me for the long haul. Excuse me.
Okay, fine. I've changed the word in the question to pretty much make it a lot more broad than just training. What do you value the most in fitness? Like there's rest, there's training, and there's nutrition. So which one, like I guess where does your heart lie in this entire tree you call fitness?
Sure. Okay.
Because I only wanted to address training, but that's only 1/3 of the entire picture. So yeah.
So now we're talking more broadly now.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I'd rather not say names.
Fair enough.
Well, you just pointed to him. So are you doing top 3 or?
I guess, yeah, you could do like a top 3 or of. It doesn't have to necessarily just be nutrition or just be training. Like it could just be like a small part of it that you value a lot.
Okay,
So,
number 3 for me is rest for sure.
okay.
And I guess don't confuse that with laziness, because the two
Yeah.
can go hand in hand, but the two are very different in their own way.
Yeah. Pretty
So
much.
yeah, definitely rest. Try to keep rest away from laziness.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you rest, make sure you still have, your mindset on your training, not just like, oh, I'm gonna sleep because I'm lazy today, but at least having the back in your mind, okay, I'm gonna do legs tomorrow. I'm gonna do, chest tomorrow.
Sure.
So when you're not physically training, you're mentally training. That's rest.
I guess, yeah, that says something. Because if your mind isn't into it, then your body's gonna suffer. At least in my experience, that's true.
That's what Bruce Lee said, right?
Yeah.
If your mind's not in it, then obviously you're not going to be in it either. Your body.
Yeah.
Your body listens to your mind.
Pretty much, yeah. And it kind of dictates your mind too. It dictates your body in many ways. So for me, my number 3 would have to be accountability. Like I do value that quite much. Again, going back to journaling, which again is not for everybody, but I will say it helps quite a lot for many out there.
Yeah.
Touche. Number 3. Number 3. Number 3. I'd have to put discipline, because
Okay.
if I'm not like giving my all throughout the week, or let alone trying for the matter, then that means I haven't set my rules. I haven't set my standards. I haven't disciplined myself to the point where like I shouldn't be eating this much crap or eating this much junk in a week, or let alone like, oh, you're only gonna run for like half mile and then go back home. Like I should always try to discipline myself to do the workouts and do it with quality, and make sure I have that mindset that I will push through it and I will succeed. Like if I don't have the mindset, if the mindset's not there, then what's the point of me trying in the first place?
Okay, before I go to my second one, this is exact quote unquote Bruce Lee. He said, "The possession of anything begins in the mind."
Yep.
That's Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so true. So number 2 for me would have to be, pretty much same as Phil. Your mindset. Where does your mind? I guess you can kind of throw your heart in there too. Where does your heart and your mind stand in your journey? What do you want to do with your body and with yourself? Because fitness journey is not just about getting fit. It's also making you a better person overall.
Yeah, and it's a lifestyle too. It's not
There's a lot
just
of qualities you can take into it and apply it to your own life.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from fitness. So number 2, yes, definitely mindset.
Okay. For me, I'd have to say my number 2 would be consistency, because consistency is key. Like I'm not trying to say, oh, just because you know well, consistency to me, like if you've been doing this for for 6 days a week, that's great. But at the same time, you gotta have your full presence into it. Not just your body has to be into it. Your heart and mind gotta be on the same page as well. So, yeah. Like the reason why for me, the reason why I stayed so consistent in my training is because I never do the same. I never do the same training every consecutive day. Not like Saitama, anyway. Even though my training is inspired from him, but how I tackle that training is, I do push-ups, body rows, and squats on one day, and then I do just running on the second day, and then third day is the same as the first, fourth day is the same as the second. So yeah, I basically switch back and forth between hard training and easy training. The easy training obviously is supposed to help you rest. So yeah, to me that's my secret on how I stayed consistent all this time throughout training, because I know when to go at it hard, but I also know when to take it easy. Because if you take it easy too much, you're gonna slack. But if you take it too hard, then you're only hurting yourself. So yeah.
Also number two, Nick, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I definitely have to agree with you. Definitely agree with you at number two, consistency. I mean, it does in a way kind of does go hand in hand with discipline, but consistency, like you said, yeah, it is key. Because if you're not consistent enough, then you'll just be falling. You'll be falling off the wagon, or falling off your journey, or taking another unnecessary detour or wrong turn in this case.
Yeah.
We all take wrong turns.
So.
Yep.
A lot of them.
So there you go. So at number two, consistency is definitely something that needs to that does need to be reinforced. To my perception at least.
Yeah.
That's my number two.
Okay, for my number one, it's kind of a
No, I heard someone coughing. I'm like, uh-oh.
No, I just have my cat's like been coughing up hairballs, so it's making me cough for some reason.
Okay.
I know, damn cats. That's what I get for having 3 cats. Then again, you had 20, Nick, so I can't beat you there. 10 might be dead in your backyard, but anyway. Number one, my number 2 and 3 kind of go hand in hand in this as well. My number 1 is dedication to your craft and to your studies, really. Because not only are you studying yourself, but you're studying, your mind and what you go through, pretty much. So let's say you work out for like 2 weeks straight, and you're like, oh, you're really proud of yourself, right? So you feel, you feel like you've done something, but in reality, you really haven't. You just gotta keep going. You can't settle on that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep dedicating yourself and be like, oh, I did 2 weeks, I'm good. No, you're not. You got to keep going. You have to keep pushing harder and harder. That's the number one thing why people don't get fit, because they do 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever, and they say they're good. Nope, you're just starting, man. You got a long way to go.
This is, I mean, if you ask me, it's pretty much a lifetime journey. Like just like how you age, your fitness has to go with that as well. Like you don't do this for you don't just do this for 1 year. You do this for the rest of your life.
It's a lifestyle, like you said. And earlier this week, I was looking in the mirror for to kind of give myself a boost and see like what improvements I've made in my body. And yes, I am proud of it, but it's also a statement to tell me that I need to keep going, keep working harder. I can do better than this. Like sure, I look pretty good. I've improved, but if I can do this, I can do even better. I can, months on from now, years on from now. So
Mm-hmm.
just keeping on the work, putting in the work.
Okay. All right. My number one value in training or in fitness for me would have to be form. Like to me, like I actually had this discussion with my brother, like maybe like a couple of weeks ago, and he actually asked me, "Hey Nick, if I, like if a particular weight is getting boring to me, should I, should I like move up a weight, even though like as I pump the same iron, it's starting to feel heavy?" And I straight up told him, your form is what's the most important in training, because if your form sucks, then volume, sets and reps, they don't mean shit. Like you can knock out 20 push-ups, and you can have like 5 sets of 20 equals 100. If your push-ups are like half reps, or your back is like more arched than a bow, then that's telling me, hey, your form sucks. You need to fix that. Otherwise, you'll either not get the best out of your workout, or you're gonna get injured. And trust me, you don't want to fall in either of those. So yeah, like I said before, form is important. Like let's say if you fix your form, but you can no longer do 20 push-ups, that should not matter, because you're actually helping your body more if you focus on the proper form of your exercises, even if your rep count goes low.
All right, closing out the number one spot. Uh, for for in fitness. Again, going back into nutrition, because I actually do I actually do take well, not necessarily take pride, but like I do take it seriously when I do, or I don't know, I try to take it seriously when it comes to eating right, like, because I want to make sure whatever I'm eating, or what I'm eating, like, I know how much calories I'm counting, or
Okay.
also how much water I should be actually consuming a day at least. Like to me, if I watch and notice and take notice to the things I'm doing, then okay, that's that's one part of that engine in my body where okay, that's going correct, that everything is flowing in that area. So
Okay.
as long as I understand my nutrition and where it's heading and where I'm going, and how I tend to use it going forward, then I should be just a-okay.
Yeah, I do value nutrition too, but for me, that's a completely different category. Like, you got the training, you got the rest, and you got nutrition. All three must be maintained in order to, keep things in perfect balance.
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess this third and final question right here. I guess this should apply for all of us, really. What are your strengths and weaknesses in training, and how do you seek to improve those weaknesses? Because I'm sure we do have one weakness or two. I know I do.
Like body part specifically, or like muscle part?
It can be, but it can also be like, say, I gotta sleep more, I gotta eat more on my lifting days, I gotta eat less on my rest days, something like that. Doesn't necessarily have to be the body parts themselves, although it can be if you want it to be.
Okay, so since I know I'll probably never fix my sleep schedule, let's go more realistically. Legs for me. That lower body for sure. You know how that joke where they look at a guy when like he's take upper body, but they look at his legs. Hey,
Yeah.
you skipped leg day, dude. That's me.
Yeah.
Like I have chicken legs, and I think I could improve on that, but it's just a matter of putting my mind on it and body on it. So definitely legs, lower body.
Okay.
I wish I had thighs like you guys.
Well,
no,
what I
no,
would
terrible idea. Trust me.
what I would say
I'd rather have
if you
that
want
than being skinny.
Okay, yeah,
Sure.
fair enough. What I would say if you're gonna work on legs, which you definitely should, is bodyweight squats are good, but only up to a point. Like in my experience, bodyweight squats worked quite well for a few months, but then I began to stagnate, and then I tried other progressions, but even those stagnated. So if you're gonna train legs, don't ever be ashamed to use weights, even if you're primarily training in calisthenics, because
Okay.
even though I'm a calisthenics enthusiast through and through, I do recognize that bodyweight squats for the legs don't work after a long while. So if I really want to get gains on the legs, particularly, squat with weights, and I promise they will, you know, make your legs grow bigger than the way they are now. Because bodyweight squats, regardless of variations, can only get you so far.
Right. And it's funny because it's funny that I mentioned that because Emery's actually also trying to get her lower body, up to par. Because well, for her as a girl, I guess she wants that booty, as all
Yeah.
girls or
Mhm.
tend to have or tend to go for. So that's
Yeah.
definitely her number one goal. As is mine, because I'm not gonna lie, I need some thighs right now, Chun-Li thighs.
Yeah.
So we're kind of both
Well,
in it together.
Yeah, well, for the booty though, like squats does just like the same problem for bodyweight squats. Squats do work the booty, but again, only up to a point. And for the booty in particular, there are actually other exercises out there that are more suitable to increase,
Mhm.
butt size. And in my opinion, those
The
would be
glutes.
glute raises, like because they focus a lot more on the butt.
Are those the ones where it looks like a sex position?
Yes, it is.
Like,
Okay, I'll enjoy myself watching her do that.
Hip thrust, kind of. Like hip.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Basically, how glute raises work is you're lying down and your knees are bent, and the only thing, literally the only thing that's moving on your body is your hips. That's it. Nothing else is
And
moving.
you're flexing your glutes.
I mean,
Yes,
it
you're
does.
basically flexing your
I
hips.
can see why it's beneficial because hip movement when you get I understand when you get older, it will
Mhm.
suck. So better to have
Yeah,
Yeah.
better to have like worked on hips, or
at a young age.
at a young age. That way, or actually keep working until you reach that old age, and then your hips would not only it would be maintained, but hey, live much more fun and live until the end.
Now I know what workouts to tell Emery to do while I watch like a stalker.
Well, again,
I gotta
like,
kick me out of the room.
yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I'm not saying she should abandon squats, because squats do help quite a bit, but in my opinion, they're not enough to actually focus more on the butt, because the
Right.
butt is like, it's kind of like its own muscle in a way.
And from my experience, the crazy thing is even working core it doesn't necessarily work on the butt, but working your core makes your midsection slimmer. That way, it makes your butt look bigger, even though it's not technically bigger. It just makes it look
Yeah.
bigger because you're slimmering your midsection. So it's
Yeah,
like
pretty
an
much.
illusion.
Plus,
So-
plus nearly every exercise out there, whether it be push-ups, inverted rows, or
Works your core.
squats, they all work your core to some capacity.
Yeah.
So yeah, in a way, and I'm not saying ab exercises are trash, because they really are not. But to me, you don't necessarily need them as much as other compound exercises, because pretty much almost every exercise out there actually involve your core for stabilization. Yeah.
What do you think of Pilates?
Never tried it.
I haven't tried it,
It's
so
like a
I
more
can't really.
hardcore yoga, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but apart from my personal experience, I can't really say much about it because I've never even tried them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ditto that answer too.
Yeah, I expected that because it's mostly geared towards girls anyway. But I just
Yeah,
wanted to get your guys' thought on it. If you've ever seen it or seen results. I guess
I would
if it
encourage.
works for girls, then yeah,
Yeah, I would encourage Mia to try it.
yeah. So, and you're lucky, Nick, because Mia does have a natural, big booty, so she doesn't have to work it as
Yeah,
much.
I don't know how, but I'm not
Filipino,
complaining.
man. Filipino blood. They have big booties.
Yeah, that's true. They do have big booties.
And Army's
Even
Japanese, so that's her downfall.
yeah,
But we
that's
can
her
all change that.
problem. Yep,
We She
yep.
can definitely change that.
hmm Okay,
It starts with the
so I
mind.
guess yep. I guess for my weakness in training, and I would have to say sleep. I don't have to explain this one because I kind of did throughout this entire podcast. So, yeah, sleep or rest, I guess, would have to be my biggest issue in training. Even though it's not really a part of training, I do say it's important to training. So, yeah, rest
You
is
might just have
important.
insomnia.
Could be, but again, I don't know
You
that
gotta
for
test it.
sure.
You don't snore like crazy, do you?
I think that's apnea.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean, I heard my brother telling me, "Hey, you actually snore. What's up?" I'm like, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah, look at my phone. I recorded you." I'm like,
What
"Oh
the
shit,
hell?
I do
holy
snore.
crap!
What the
This
fuck?"
Wow, your brother's your own surveillance cam.
In a way, yes, but this was a
That's
long
kind of
time
creepy.
ago.
wow.
Wait, you don't lock your door when you're sleeping?
No, I do, but how he recorded me sleeping was I was sleeping on the couch instead of my bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Caught.
yeah,
Okay, so he had the upper win on that one.
pretty much, yeah.
I think I snore pretty bad too. I've heard stories, embarrassing ones. Is that a deal breaker for you guys?
Like snoring?
Like, let's say you sleep with your girl, and she's like a pretty loud snorer. Would that be a deal breaker? Like, sorry, babe, I gotta leave you.
No,
Nope.
You snore too
no.
much.
That's just petty, dude.
I know.
I mean, if
But
anything,
yeah, no.
it might actually wake me up at the right time
Yeah, that's
if
true.
done properly.
I don't think it. I don't know. I don't think it wouldn't bother me as much. But if it does become like if it does become like very serious and stuff,
Constant.
like constantly like serious, then it's not so much I'm not gonna break with you. I want to help you.
Yeah,
But if you don't want, but if you
like
don't
we
want,
need to go to the doctor.
yeah, like I'd rather help you instead. I'd rather help you and work with you. You know,
hmm
work.
And one way to help her is kick her out to the living room while you sleep in the bedroom. Here, you sleep in the
Or
garage, babe.
or 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 I just put on. Oh no, should I just put a big pair of headphones and just like. Okay, I can deal with this for the next like 8 hours of sleep.
That doesn't help me as much because I sleep on my side,
Oh,
so headphones will
guess.
get in the way.
Oh, okay. Damn. Wow. Who would have thought?
Okay,
All right.
so throwing this question to you, Phil.
Okay. Weakness wise, this. If there's one thing that's part one of my greatest weaknesses right now right now during this run, it has to be the consistency because well, consistency and quality of what quality of doing, because I'm not gonna lie, there will be days where it's like, come on, Phil, you can like you can still go, you can still do 20 more triangles. You can do it. So I know that course hurting, or you can still do one more drill round. You can go 5 more minutes. It's okay. Cause at the point where it's like I'm ready to just like tap, like literally, like really, like physically, mentally just tap out. Like I'm literally just ready to just cave in and give up. So I have to be consistent every day to make sure that one, I have to be consistent enough to the point where it's like I'm doing this every day, where I do it every time, where I get used to it. I have fun doing it, and it doesn't feel like it's like a chore. So
Yeah, you have to enjoy what you're doing. You don't force yourself to do it if you don't want to do it. You know.
Yeah.
yeah. So
It starts with the mind again.
yeah.
And did you say you started doing push-ups every morning?
I've managed, because lucky enough my alarms go off like Kurt Angle loud theme music, crazy loud.
Nice.
Yes. So yes, I did end up buying a Kurt Angle ringtone, just so that
I picked the Taker ringtone, but that's me.
Oh, that
Because it scares me.
Oh, the
Yeah, the tombstone.
So yeah, so as long for me, like, again, I discipline myself. I put consistency, and I put quality to everything. Then that means, okay, we are back on the path. We're back in the driver's seat. We're not taking as many wrong turns on the white Wailua loop. Like, you're back on the road. Like, no more taking stupid ass wrong turns. Just stay the course, and I'll be a-okay.
Nice. What do you think, in your mind, in your experience, Phil, has kept you from that consistency? Like, what's getting in your way?
Right now, I probably bullshit and tell you it's this pandemic, but no, that's not the likely case at all.
If anything, it should make you more focused on your workout.
Right, because
You don't have many shit to worry about.
Right, so what's keeping me
There's less
away?
distractions.
Yeah, the distractions and things I need to stop. And one of those things I actually started this week. I actually finally gave up masturbation, guys.
What the hell?
Oh, hold up.
You're
hold up.
abstinent?
What did you say?
You're abstinent.
What you say?
I'm gonna rewind.
We heard you.
I'm gonna say this loud and clear. I gave up masturbation.
Wow.
Oh
there's
my
been two
God.
times. There's only been 2 times in my life that I've given up, or very loosely given up masturbation, and that's when I got into a real relationship. But then a year after, I kind of got urges again, and I'm not saying that you.
Don't get me wrong. There will I will have my temptations. I'll have my urges. There will be.
Wow,
those.
you're taking a very monk way.
Well, it's not. It's
like
yeah.
hyperbolic chamber.
Well, no. I feel like that's one of my distractions that I need to get rid of, and it was like, okay, Like I told myself, this shit gotta stop. Done.
Well, maybe it's the amount of masturbating that you did that was the problem. Because I still do it. I mean, like twice, maybe 3 times a week. I have no problem with that. It's not getting in my way, in my life anyway. But if you start doing like 5 times a day, then yeah, you might have a problem there.
Yeah, that is a problem.
If you want,
How do you have enough juice at the end?
I mean, if you want to talk doing 5 times a day, try. How's like almost like every morning and every night this happens, or
Really?
where I reduce myself
Like out of boredom, or are you horny?
out of boredom, literally.
That's bad. Yeah.
So
No, I've been through that too.
so,
Like I'm not even like horny. I just for some reason I just have to do it. It was pretty bad. So
so
I took a very long fasting. Maybe
yeah.
that's what you need right now.
So it was just one. It became like, for me, it just became one of those things where it's like, okay, no, this is like I'm putting my foot, like I'm gonna put my foot down and stop.
I applaud you.
I'm actually gonna like legit.
Sorry, I know it looks weird. It sounds weird because you're not seeing my webcam, but I'm not
Yeah.
doing what you think I'm doing.
I,
I'm clapping,
that's a very interesting clap. But anyway,
not that clapping. Get your head out of the gutter.
Otherwise,
no,
you're
that
failing
I applaud you.
your challenge.
I'm pretty much contradicting myself right now.
so
But yeah, good shit, man. So today you started, or
today I mark the first I mark the first day that I'm ending that habit.
so clear all your history, turn off all your incognito tabs, everything.
Yeah.
Brainwash yourself out of Pornhub, Blacked, whatever your favorite websites.
Mr. Choose Asian Beaver, Tiny Asians.
Yeah, Instagram. I know Instagram can get.
Yeah, no, I mean, trust me, dude. Social media, like you wouldn't believe.
I think that's not a problem.
How tempting there, or how, I'll say not tempting. How thirsty is some people on there? So it's.
Yeah,
Or
and I feel like social media, as amazing a platform as it is, it can be just as distracting in your life.
Yeah,
That's why I limit my use.
So, but yeah.
Man.
So today marks the first day that it ends, and I'm actually I will put my I will actually take whatever left, or whatever I have left going into out of 2020, and bring it into 2021, and here it goes.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I want
We'll
to
see
end,
how that lasts.
I want to end that show on the bang. So
All right then. Well,
Yeah.
here you have it,
You heard it.
guys. This is your monthly Fitness Friday podcast, which I did not expect it to go into a sex ed route, but more on that
They
another
go hand in
time.
hand.
Yeah. That is the True Waves. That is Uncle Shazam, and I am Sick Nick, and we are signing out. Peace out.
all right.
Peace.